Hi everyone, nice seeing you again. This is the lecture video of Unit 1 Grammar part. If you open the textbook on page 20, you will see the topics that we are going to discuss in this video. So the topics I already wrote in this shared document, so which are gerunds and infinitives. So basically we're going to talk about how to use gerunds and how to use infinitives and what are they. So let's start. So don't forget your textbook, page number 20. First, what is gerund? What is a gerund? A gerund is the form. Let's talk about the form. The form of a gerund is verb ing. So verb ing, there's another name. There's another name for this kind of verb. Another name of this kind of verb is present participle. It is called present participle. So don't be confused with the present tense or present continuous form. That's different. So we're talking only about this form, verb ing form. What is verb ing form? For example, when you say walking, say running, say taking, so any verb with ing, we call it present participle. So why? Because it's with ing. Ing shows the action that is ongoing, the action that is happening now at the present. That's the sense of ing. Why is it called participle? Because if you look at the root of this word, if I cut that part, if I cut the suffix, it's going to be part. What does it mean, part? Part means just one section or one part of the main part. So it means it's just a part or a section of something else. So if it's a part or if it's a section of something else, it means it cannot stand by itself as the main verb. I say again, so present participle or verb ing form cannot stand alone as a main verb. For example, you wouldn't say we walking in the park. That's wrong. That's wrong because walking, what tense? What tense are we using? There's no tense. This is only the present participle. If we want to make it a perfect sentence, we need a helping verb to make it as a main verb, right? For example, if you're talking about the action that is happening right now, we have to use the present continuous form. So we have to add this helping verb, which is verb to be. We are walking in the park. What is the main verb of this sentence? The main verb of this sentence is are walking. It's the whole thing together. You cannot say walking is the main verb of this sentence because walking is only present participle. It's not a tense. It's a form. Present participle is a form. I say again, present participle is a form. So it's not a tense. Tense, when I say tense, tense is verb tense. So there are many tenses in English, right? So there are like 12 main tenses in English. So if you ask what is the verb of this sentence, you have to say are walking. And what tense it is? What tense is it? The tense is present continuous. Present continuous is used when you want to talk about any action that is happening right now at the moment. right? At the moment that you're speaking. But we're not talking about present continuous tense. We're talking only about this form, this ing form. Okay, so I say again, verb with ing form, when it stands alone, we call it present participle. Present participle. There's another word, gerund. So sometimes we call it gerund. What is a gerund? A gerund is a verb that has ing form, but the part of speech of gerund is a noun. So there are 2 points here. So what is a gerund again? A gerund is a noun. When we say a gerund is a noun, we talk about its part of speech. Part of speech means duty. The duty that they do in a sentence. What is a gerund? Gerund is a noun. What is the form of gerund? The form of the gerund is ing form. Okay. So when do we use a gerund? We use the gerund in 2 places. We usually place a gerund, 1, at the beginning of a sentence. When we start a sentence with a gerund, it means we use the gerund as a subject, right? So we can use a gerund as a subject. For example, eating organic food products. Can I change the verb? What about consuming organic food products? So now what is the verb? Consuming. Sorry, it's not a verb, it's the subject. Okay, what is the subject? The subject is consuming. Okay, is it singular or is it plural? Because we have to add a verb here. So in English, when you want to add a verb, you have to look at the subject, whether the subject is singular or plural. So consuming of course is singular. So I'm going to say consuming organic food products is good for you. Full stop. So what is the main verb of this subject? The main verb is. What is the subject of this sentence? The subject is consuming. So what is the form of this consuming? This is gerund form, right? So as we say, the gerund is noun. A gerund is a noun. So when it's a noun, we can use a noun as a subject. So consuming, when it's in ing form, we can use it as a subject. So we can start a sentence with a gerund when we use it as a subject. Okay. 2, we use a gerund after prepositions. Do you know prepositions? I think you know, because if I mention, okay, do you know these words? Of, at, in, before, after, in, beside, behind. Okay, these words are prepositions. Okay, so we can add a gerund after prepositions. For example, I don't have an example written, but I can think about one now. My mom told me to finish the homework before go to bed. Okay, if you look at this sentence right now, and if I ask you a question, can you find a mistake in this sentence? What do you think? What do you think? Do you see a mistake? Okay, I can wait. So you can think about it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, time's up. The mistake, I hope that you got the right answer. The mistake of this sentence is go. Why? Why? Because what is before? Before is a preposition, right? Before is a preposition, and we say we have to put a gerund after prepositions. So what is go? The form of go is a verb form. We cannot add a verb right next to a preposition because just remember this, prepositions are in love with noun only. They don't love anyone else. If you want to add something after them, just add a noun. But we need this verb. How can we change this verb as a noun? So to make this preposition before happy about it, because this preposition needs a noun. So this way we can add ing to this verb. So just to change it into a gerund. So we change a verb into a noun by adding ing. That's why we say a gerund is a noun. Because we change a verb into a noun by adding ing. And when we change a verb by adding ing, then we call it gerund. Then we have to change the name because this is not a verb anymore. If we say what is the part of speech of this going, you cannot say it's a verb because it's not a verb. What is the verb in this sentence? The verb of this sentence is told, right? What is the subject? The subject is my mom. What is the action that she did? The action that she did is told. Told who? Told me. Okay, to do what? To finish. Finish what? The homework is a noun. When? Okay, before is the preposition. It tells you about the time. When? Okay, before I go to bed. So when we say before I go to bed, okay, if you don't want to change this verb into a noun or ing or gerund, there's another way you can do. Just add I before I go to bed, which is okay. Why it's okay? Because I is a person and I is a noun. A person is a noun. So is it good for preposition? Yes, because prepositions love noun. Okay, if you say before I go to bed, that's fine. But if you don't say that, and if you start with this verb after the preposition, no, it's not okay because prepositions cannot be followed by a verb. Then you have to change this verb into a noun by adding ing, and it becomes a gerund. So that's a gerund. Okay? So let me say again. We usually place a gerund 1 at the beginning of a sentence when we use it as a subject. 2 after prepositions, like this example. Okay, every time you want to use a verb after a preposition, change that verb into a noun by adding ing, and that's fine. That would be good. Okay, so that's a gerund. There are more sentences in the book if you look at the book right now. So they say, I'm going to read the book that you can follow. Gerunds are also used after prepositions such as about, of, in, for, and against, and after certain verbs. After certain verbs, I can repeat. Here on the screen for you. After certain verbs such as, what are they? Consider, suggest, what else? And recommend. So these three verbs, when you use these three verbs, if you want to use another verb after these verbs, make sure that you use them as a gerund. Example, I think the book has example for you. Like this one, I consider voting for him. See, if you use consider as the main verb, the verb after it, you have to make it a gerund. You don't say I consider vote, or you don't say I consider to vote. No, that's wrong. The grammar is wrong. I mean, you understand the meaning, but grammatically it's wrong. So you have to change this into a gerund. So I consider voting for him. Or if you want to use suggest, I suggest using the pencil instead of the pen. Okay, so maybe you think that, oh, using the pencil, this pencil is better than that pen. So you say, I suggest using the pencil instead of the pen. So using gerund. What else? Recommend. Maybe just think about a name. Tim recommended. Recommended, I use it as a past tense. Tim recommended going to the zoo tomorrow. So Tim recommended. The verb after recommend. The grammar says you have to use gerund. So recommended, going. You don't say recommended go, or you don't say recommended to go. That's wrong. So it's a gerund, so add ing. Tim recommended going to the zoo tomorrow. Okay. So that's the note for gerund. Apart from gerund, I'm gonna continue to infinitive. Okay. Again, if you have questions, you can add a comment or leave a comment in the Google Classroom. Below or under this post that I'm going to post it by tomorrow. Next, infinitive. Infinitives. What are infinitives? Okay, in the book it says infinitive, the form. Let's talk about the form. What is the form? The form of infinitive is to plus verb. What kind of verb? Base form. What is base form? Okay, let's see. What is base form? Base form is, remember that sentence that we say, we are walking in the park. So, question, what is the main verb of this sentence? The main verb of this sentence is are walking. What tense? Present continuous. What is the action? The action is, you see, walk, right? So the action is walk. This form is present participle, right? ing. We say infinitives are the verb with to. So to plus verb, but it has to be base form. What is the base form of walking? The base form of walking is walk. The base form of a verb is the original form of a verb. More example. Even if when you use it as the present tense, she walks in the park every morning. Okay, she walks in the park every morning. What is the main verb of this sentence? The main verb of this sentence is walks. We add s because the subject is she. What tense? Present simple tense. When we use present simple tense, if the subject is singular, we have to add s to the verb. Okay. But question is, what is the base form of this verb? What is the base form of walks? The base form of walks is same, walk. Okay, it means that the original form of this verb is walk, but we can change the form into many forms according to the tense that we use. We can add ing, we can add s, we can also add ed when we use it as a past tense, right? Okay, whatever we add to according to the tenses that we use doesn't matter, but the base form never changes. The base form never changes. The base form of this verb is what? More example. If I say, she is a student. What is the main verb of this sentence? The main verb is. If you say, I am a student, what is the main verb? Am. If you say, you are a student, what is the verb? The verb is are. But what is the base form of this is? What is the base form of is? The base form is be, right? Verb to be. That's why we call it verb to be. Question number 2, what is the base form of am? The base form of am is also be. What is the base form of are? The base form of are is also be. So these verbs are from the same base form, be. So that's what we talk about. The form of infinitive is to plus verb, but this verb must be base form. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So in the book it says infinitives are often used after the adjective phrase. Be plus adjective. What is it? Example. I'm going to use the example from the book so it's easy for you to follow. In the book it says it's important to respect your employees. Okay. Let's say after, so this is case 1. After adjective phrase be plus so okay, right now don't be confused when they say infinitives are used after an adjective phrase. What is an adjective phrase? An adjective phrase is this. It looks like this. It's with verb to be plus an adjective. So this is what we call adjective phrase. This is what we call adjective phrase. What is an adjective phrase? An adjective phrase is verb to be plus an adjective. For example, it is important to respect your employees. What is the adjective phrase that you see? The adjective phrase that you see in this sentence is here. Is important, because important is an adjective, and it's an adjective phrase because it's together with verb to be, which is. So it's important. So it says we use infinitives after an adjective phrase. What is an infinitive in this sentence? The infinitive in this sentence is to respect. See, very simple. So we use an infinitive after an adjective phrase like that. So this form, don't forget, respect as a verb, but we have to use it as a base form of the verb. The base form of respect is respect. So it means you cannot say it's important to respecting. That's wrong. So don't add anything to it. Don't add s, don't add ed, don't add ing. So we have to use the base form only. I have more example that I wrote in here. I am happy to tell you about I am happy to tell you about this good news. What is the adjective? What is the adjective phrase that you see? The adjective phrase in this sentence is here. I am happy, right? Because happy is an adjective. Why it is an adjective phrase? Because it's used with a verb to be. I'm happy. This is an adjective phrase, but that's not important because the important point that we talk about is we want to look at the infinitive. Where is the infinitive in this sentence? The infinitive in this sentence is to tell. We use infinitive here because it's after this phrase. It's after the adjective phrase. So it means we don't use the gerund here. I am happy telling you about this good news. That's wrong. The grammar is wrong. We cannot use the gerund in this case. In this case, with the adjective phrase, we have to use the infinitive form. So to tell. Okay, I have more example. It is easy to do what? Okay, it is easy to work with the new manager. Okay, it is easy to work with the new manager. What is infinitive? The infinitive in this sentence is to work, right? To work base form. We cannot say it is easy working because we don't use gerund in this kind of form because we have this adjective phrase. It is easy. When you say it is easy, it is easy to do what? To do what? So to do what is the infinitive. Oh, it is easy to work. Base form. So we don't add ing. Base form is to work. Okay, so that's infinitive. More notes from the book. The book says infinitives are also used after certain verbs. So case 2, after certain verbs. What are they? Such as, this is from the book, so I'm going to repeat it on the screen. Want, decide, try, hope, need, expect, agree, and learn. So these verbs, I guess you have to remember there's no technique to know. There's no technique. The technique is remember, just remember. Example, I'm going to use the example from the book. She hopes to become a manager one day. So you say she hopes to become a manager one day. The main verb is hope. So when you say hope, you use hope is here. You say you have to use infinitive. So she hopes to become. You don't say she hopes becoming. That's wrong. So because we don't use gerund in this case, we use infinitive in this case. What about more example? More example. I'm going to use this verb try because we often use this verb, right, in our daily life. So I try to finish the project when? Okay, by the end of this month. What is the main verb? The main verb is try. So when you use try to do something. Just remember this structure. I try to do something. When you say to do something, we use infinitive. I try to finish. So finish, base form, remember? Base form, so you don't add anything. No ing, no s, no ed. Let's make one more example. Maybe a name. Susan. So old-fashioned name, but it's a beautiful name. I like it. Susan expects. Let's add s because I want to use present simple tense. Susan is singular, so Susan expects. When we use this verb, expects, do you use gerund here or infinitive? The answer is infinitive. Okay. Susan expects to see the teacher tomorrow. Okay. So you don't say Susan expects seeing. If you use gerund in this case, that's wrong. Okay, wrong by grammar. Because you use the verb expect. So we use the verb expect, we have to use infinitive. So the infinitive is to see. Susan expects to see the teacher tomorrow. Okay, and that's it. That's it about gerund and infinitives. Gerunds and infinitives. Okay. Homework. This grammar part is quite short, but I like to give you homework for your participation for this lecture as usual. One thing I have to tell you about answering the question. I'm gonna post this link in the Google Classroom like last time as a question. So as a question, I received emails from students who didn't know how to answer the question. The easy way to answer the question is just type in the answer simple below the question. So last time I told someone to, I think I replied to Maria last time that I told you to put your answer in the class comments. I found it quite complicated to check your participation in that section. So this time I think you should answer the question just right below the question. Okay, maybe in class next Monday I'll show you. We can discuss that in class next Monday when we do the live streaming. So I'm going to ask a student to share the screen, because when I go in the Google Classroom, I'm going to see it differently. I'm going to see the Google Classroom as a teacher by myself. So I'm going to let a student share the screen so we can look and see how you see the screen, which I don't see. Okay, but I think it's simple to answer the question just right under the question. So that's easy. I saw some people did that. So it's very easy for me to check your participation. Okay, homework for this class, for this video, here. Exercises A and B, page 20, 21. If you're following me by looking at the book, you would see it now. Okay, it's on page 20 and 21. Very easy. Exercise A has only seven items, and exercise B has only 8 items to complete. So that's your homework. When I post this link in the Google Classroom, when you type your answer should be this homework. Answer exercise A and exercise B. When you type in the homework, just say exercise A, page 20, and then you say number one. Number one, what's your answer? For example, let's see number one, exercise A. when the instruction says, read the sentences, underline each gerund and infinitive. So number one, when Ginny Pitcher needed to hire a director of business development, she turned to her closest friend, Kate Massey. Do you see any gerund or infinitive at all? The answer is, I see an infinitive. I don't see a gerund. I only see an infinitive here. The infinitive that I see is to hire, right? When Ginny Pitcher needed, so you use the verb need. Remember here? Need. Okay. You use the verb need, and then it must be followed by an infinitive. So the infinitive is to hire. So in number one, my answer would be to hire. Like that, simple. And then you continue to number two. Just type in your answer. Okay, so do that. Exercise A and exercise B. And the deadline will be before next Wednesday. So I'm going to post this tomorrow. Tomorrow is July 9th. And then next week will be another 7 days. Okay, just make sure you finish. I'm going to put the deadline in the Google Classroom so you know to answer the question before the deadline. Okay, just remember, participation is important. I'm going to check your participation every week, every time you do this video lecture. And if you complete the homework, you will get participation point. If I don't see your answer in time, if I don't see your answers before the deadline, it means you missed that participation. Okay, even if you watch the video. But there's no proof. If you watch the video, you should complete your homework. If you don't complete your homework, if you don't type in your answers, so you miss the participation, because I wouldn't know if you study or not. Okay, just type in your answers every week. Okay. Okay. Thank you for watching today, and I'm gonna look forward. I'm gonna look forward to your answers in the Google Classroom, and I'll see you in class live on next Monday. Thank you.